Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm spontaneously doing a VoD review of Divine Blade here. He's playing Varus. Um, oh yeah, so we're gonna take a look at it, watch at mechanical or macro mistakes here, and it begins pretty interesting. We can see the blue team is invading, and the red team didn't cover. So usually what you do is that the jungler goes up here, top laner stays at the tribush over there. Mid laner pushes up into the mid lane so he can see whether or not they're coming from the mid lane into this brush. The support goes over there, and the AD carry should cover over here so this doesn't happen. This invades are really unnecessary. You can easily defend them. You don't need to waste a summoner spell or even give the enemy team kills. However, this is what happens right now. Let's go to the blue team's vision. We can see that Ashe, she's the attack. We don't see anybody else here. Kayn is invisible. We see that, Veigar is in the middle lane. So, what we know is that there could be 4 people from the blue team, and red team is only 3 guys, alright? So this is the first mistake. Going for this fight, going for this trade, there's no reason for Lee Sin to go in. I think Divine Blade, you're doing fine to, try to cover this guy, but at this point, you're making a mistake here, right? So instead of the Blitzcrank pulled the Ashe, instead of just going back trying to get her, you stick around to attack the Kayn. There's no way you're gonna kill one of those people, but Ashe actually got pulled away and she's in a really bad spot. So what you can do here is that you use heal, you manage to go away from the Kayn, and you reach the Ashe, right? So the biggest mistake in this play is that you use your your E ability in here. Going E level 1, I mean, it's not that bad, but that was kind of wasted here. I mean, if you used it on the Ashe, she would have been slowed, and things would have looked much more different here, and you might have even get the kill right there, right? So yeah, it's important to have the focus right, know who you need to attack, and at this point, nice job by the Blitzcrank here with the hook. Yeah, that was just a bad play by the Kayn. However, I think you should have still gone for the Ashe first. Make sure that you kill her. She used both summoners, so that's pretty good for you guys. All right, nice. The problem here is you're full HP and the Lee Sin. He desperately wanted to get the blue buff. You didn't tank it for him, and you're gonna lose a lot of CS at the bottom lane. So I would say just take the blue buff and go bot lane. I don't think that you're gonna do it. So this is gonna make you go up behind by so much. You should have just taken it. If he's stupid enough to die to the blue buff, he doesn't deserve it. And yeah, let's take a look how things play out at the bottom line. I think since you had the first kill here, you guys are probably gonna reach level 2 first. The Blitzcrank already is level 2, right? So he goes in for the hook. You didn't get the kill. You're still level 1, so you don't have that much damage. I usually go for Q and W on Varus, but Varus is not the strongest AD carry in general right now. When it comes to League of Legends, comes to the AD carries. I think at this point, you could focus the Lulu down. She's super low. You would have probably killed her earlier, but what you cannot do is switch targets, right? Because you focus the Ashe first. If you look at this right now, Blitzcrank goes in. You're a little bit out of you're not there immediately to help him, and now things get awkward. He goes back, you go in. The Rumsy's out, but what you need to do is you need to keep your focus, right? So you focus the Ashe right now. You got her pretty low, and you're level 2. She's still level 1. This means you can probably kill her. What you do wrong is you switch targets. If you committed to the Ashe, you probably kill her, and then the Lulu too. But yeah, you go in, use your flash, you're gonna die eventually. So this is the big mistake here. Don't switch targets, kill the Ashe. She has much more damage than the Lulu. You could have gone for Lulu if you were up here or something and save from Ashe, but Ashe just has much more damage to offer than Lulu. Make sure to kill the player with the most damage first. I mean, if you flashed immediately to the Lulu and managed to kill her directly, then it would have been okay. But you targeted the Ashe first, and then you went for Lulu, which resulted in a bad outcome for you. All right. So this is gonna be a really short analysis. So we're gonna fast forward here. You know, your lane, how you play the lane play. Not gonna take too much focus into this. I mean, right now it's pretty obvious. You have to prepare the wave. They're gonna hit the turret. There's nothing you can do about it. It's gonna eventually hit the turret. So what you should do is actually position yourself behind the minions, so this volley doesn't hit you. It's gonna poke you down a little bit. This could be avoided if you just stay behind your minions, away from the Lulu, because she has a lot of poke, right? All right. That's unfortunate. I think you didn't get the cannon because of the whimsy. Yeah, make sure to don't be unnecessarily close to the Lulu, especially if your support is not there. Make sure that you get experience though, because I mean they're not zoning you out from the experience. You can easily get XP here. You can farm pretty safely, as long as they don't push you too hard. If Blitzcrank is there, I think you can pretty much kill them. This means this is pretty bad, right? You don't want to go for this kind of traits if they have minions and you don't. I mean, you have your shield up, but it's not gonna end well because the minions they pretty much do a lot of damage to you. So make sure to don't go for traits when the enemy team has more minions than you. Blitzcrank looks for an engager. You need to be sure that you need to make sure that you are on the same spot here. If he goes in, you need to follow up. Try to use your poke a bit more. Your Q. I mean, you have. Let's take a look at this. Your items. You have lifesteal already, so we didn't take this into consideration. This changes the the lane play because Ashe only has Doran's Blade, and you have Vampiric Scepter and Doran's Shield. So this means your sustain is going to be over the roof. You should definitely try to go for more traits if you have lifesteal and they don't. Another thing, while you channel your Q, you can still walk, right? So don't just stick around. Walk towards them. Use your Q. Yeah, since you have Vampiric Scepter and Doran's Shield, and you have Overheal, this means you can definitely go for more traits there. As long as you don't all in them under the turret, this should be fine. Alright, so you're pretty fat. You're 4-1. What you need to do right now is, let's turn this off. What you need to do is pressure the turret, but you need to have vision. You don't have any vision in here. The top side is completely cleared, and it's pretty likely that Kayn is gonna come to the bottom lane. I'm not really sure. I haven't really followed if Kayn was spotted on the map somewhere, but it's likely that he's gonna be on the bottom side of the map, and this means that you need to be careful. And I would definitely play this super careful, since Kayn hasn't been spotted anywhere, and usually you should push this lane in, since you're much stronger than them. You can damage the turret, and you can try to let the Blitzcrank make plays. But if Kayn isn't there and their bot lane is here, this is gonna be a bit risky without jungle support, right? Now, if you have enough gold, you should definitely go back. You have 1,600 gold. This means you should try to look for a time to go back. You can push in the wave. Maybe look for another engagement. This guy, I mean, Blitzcrank does a great job here with the hook. All you could do more is, use your Q use your abilities for the wave clear when you want to push in the wave. I mean, your E is up, your Q is up. You can use them to push in the wave quicker, faster, and then go back to the base and try to get items and then snowball the game. So we haven't seen Kayn still. We still haven't seen Kayn on the map. It's pretty clueless now. We don't know where he is. There we go. We spot him on the top side, and he doesn't have any buff, right? So this means his blue buff and his red buff, they most likely are up. I mean, yeah, they are up. We can see that on the minimap. Just because we know that Lee Sin's blue buff just spawned and his red buff is gonna spawn soon, we can assume that the enemy jungler's buffs are gonna be up as well. This means that we need to be careful. Try to ward up the buffs. I mean, if you push in the wave, you have the opportunity to ward, and wards at blue and red buff, they're so strong, they're so crucial, they give you a lot of information, and this is pretty bad recall. You should definitely push in the wave before you recall, because this is gonna slow push and you're gonna lose the whole wave here. Lulu is somehow not understanding this. Alright? Yeah, she pushes in. You're lucky. You're not losing that much minions, that many minions. And you saw the Kane was at the top side earlier. He took both of his buffs. Let's take a look at this. It's a pretty long game, 40 minutes. So you have 5 kills. You can just at this point you can just go up, walk up to those people, press your ultimate on maybe the Ashe or Lulu. Doesn't really matter. You can just go for the Ashe and press ulti and go for the kill, right? I mean, Blitzcrank goes in. You should definitely go with him here. Definitely easy kill on his guy. You have Blade of the Rune King already. Just ulti, but that's that's not how it works though. If Blitzcrank misses his Q, Blitzcrank goes in. You could actually go in here with him and use the ultimate, because then she would have been dead. But now, the problem is he misses the Q. Like, that's a lot of damage. It's 135, and he's not gonna be in range now, and he's walking backwards already. And now you decide to go. All right, let's go in. Use my ultimate, and yeah, you tank the Ashe arrow, right? That's something you need to consider. You need to be behind the Blitzcrank so you don't get damaged by the arrow. I mean, you end up getting the kill, but that was pretty badly played, right? If you weren't that much ahead, I'm not really sure if that would have worked out that way. So make sure that you understand it. You could have understand your strength. Push the turret. Get some wards up. I mean, the Blitzcrank should have done this, but yeah, he has his ward up. He's not doing it. At this point, you're just crushing them. Wow, I mean, you're just auto-attacking them. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You get the turret, that's perfect. Push in the next wave. If you get the turret, get one more wave, and let it, then the wave is gonna push towards their turret. You can line swap. You can go to the top lane. Make sure that Nasus doesn't, get too fat. At this point, this cannon minion would have been nice in your pocket, right? So let's see if you do it correctly now. You should definitely lane swap at this point. You're not. You're going to the bottom lane. I mean, it's the Mountain Drake is up, but still, being top lane against the Nasus, you and Blitzcrank, you have more impact than the Quinn. The Quinn is getting shit. It's just gonna be, it's gonna get shit on by the Nasus probably. So yeah, you should have definitely swapped the lane. Now that you don't, let's see if you can get the dragon pressure or not. I mean, they give you, I think, 80 gold or something. I'm not really sure how much gold they give you, but they're not worth anything. She's 1-5. Oh, she got a kill though. I'm not really sure when. Yeah. So this should be definitely a dragon for you guys. Lee Sin is going top lane. This is the wrong play in my opinion. But yeah, you should have lane swap. That would have been the right thing to do. And even if you don't, you can solo the dragon. You don't need the Lee Sin. You have Blade of the Rune King, a lot of self heal, and you're not doing it. You're pushing the tier 2. This is super risky. You don't have I mean, you have vision, but if it comes from here, it's too late anyway to see him. So I wouldn't recommend doing this. Definitely swap, and yeah, you're not gonna get anything out of this. This turret is not gonna fall that easy, right? There's gonna be a lot of risk involved. On the other hand, though, if you go to the top lane, this turret can easily fall. You can take it down. You can get the herald. You can get the turret in the middle lane with the herald. So there's much more opportunities for you to do. And if you stay in the bottom lane, you need to go for the dragon. Don't give it away like that. A Mountain Drake is pretty strong. It's gonna enable you to get further objectives easier. I mean, mechanically wise, I've already mentioned a few things. Be careful with the Ashe arrow. Don't engage the fight when your support is not ready. This lane swap is a little bit, a bit weird, because I'm not really sure why you didn't do it earlier. It's fine that you finally do it. This turret has to fall. The herald has to go into your hands. It's important to know that though, right? Don't just lane swap because you have to lane swap, but lane swap with the thought process of getting the objectives. I mean, right now, Nasus going back. It's pretty risky, of course, to stay there alone. But if you have voids up, you can cover those brushes, see if he's in there, and if he's not in there, you can place one void down, but you should go for the turret here. It's not gonna give you any gold if it goes down, and well, that's kind of awkward that Quinn is going top lane too. Now, what do you do? What do you do in a situation where they don't want to swap with you? Just go for the herald. I mean, you guys are up in numbers, so you're 2 versus 1. You can ping your jungler, spam ping your jungler here. Go for the dragon. Go for the herald. What you shouldn't do is, you know, don't just walk around randomly. Do something. Maybe, you know, maybe even get a grump or something. Take a jungle camp out of the Kane's hands. Try to make your lead bigger. Now this is a terrible dive. What are they doing? Oh boy, that's so not worth. No, Lysandra. Crap. All right. So, once again here, you know, you went to the top lane, got the trade, and then you recalled. So I think you could have done more. You didn't necessarily have to recall. You didn't even have that much gold on your in your pockets here. Nice ulti here. Good job. Saving the trade, getting a kill. That's pretty good. Good that you saw the opportunity and took it. That's really good. Now, what do you next? You know, they have 4 people mid lane. What you shouldn't do is ARAM. Never do this. Even if you think it's, you know, it's a common mistake in every elo, that you just group up mid lane all together. Now we can see what happens if you do, right? They just burst you down super hard. If you don't, you know, this is super difficult to play it. I mean, you're so low. 3 of your team members are pretty low on HP. That is so risky to do it. And if the enemy team has wave clear, you know, all random, all mid, it's not gonna work. Definitely need to, you know, if you take a look at this, there's a huge wave in the bottom lane. You could go to somebody of your team could go to the bottom lane. Maybe the Quinn even, and the rest goes for the Herald or the, you know, Dragon is gonna come up soon as well. It's an Infernal Drake, it's super strong. Now, don't go for unnecessary dives. Your team is kind of screwing up here. I see where the throws come in, but this game should be pretty easy, right? After you get the bottom lane turret, you should go top lane or Dragon. So one of those choices, either you take Dragon or you get top lane. Take the top lane turret down, go for the Herald. I mean, that's super bad. You could even go for the Herald alone. You don't need your jungler to do it. You can easily, you know, just walk around it when it opens the eye and to hit it on the back. And it's gonna go down pretty quickly. Now you know, you gave away so many things. You gave away the Dragon, the Herald. Losing pressure because you guys all stack up in the middle lane. You share experience, and that's pretty bad. You don't get enough gold. You don't get enough experience. Even you as an AD carry, you can do that too. You can go to the side lanes, you know, farm it up. Like here, for example, top lane, farm it up, go back to the middle lane. If you go back in time here, all right, we can see at this point already. We see that top lane is stacking up a menu F, right? So the AD carry is of course not the best choice to go for this farm, but if nobody does it, you should do it, right? Listen, there's an Infernal Drake coming up, super important, of course. So you should actually send the Quinn top lane. She's dead though. What are you gonna do? There's a super big wave. It's gonna hit the turret. It's gonna go. You know, it's gonna be wasted. It's a decision you have to take. If you think that you can contest the Dragon as a team, you should go for the Dragon because Infernal Drake is really strong. It scales in the late game, and you, most importantly, you want to deny it of the enemy team. You don't want the Veigar to have, or the Nasus to have the Infernal Drake, because they will go crazy and kill your whole team. However, if you see that your team can't go for it, I mean, Leeson is super low here. I wouldn't be that sure if I could go for it. I wouldn't even try to start it. He's super low. You need the jungler for this. I'm not really sure what he's trying to do. Alright, so no comment to that, Ash. Holy crap. Alright, so yeah. As I already mentioned, you have to make your own mind, think about whether or not you can go for the Dragon. Of course, AD carry is not the best one to go for the top lane farm if a Dragon is up. But if you can't contest the Dragon, you should go for the top lane farm, right? If you can contest the Dragon, I mean, your team is pretty much ahead in the game. You can try to go for it. However, you need to do it correctly together as a team. If Lee Sin dies, I mean, what I don't understand here at this point, you got the kill that is necessary. You have full HP, and you don't go for this Dragon. Wait. What? Why? What was the reason of staying here at the first place? if you don't go for this infiltrate. Now, this is kind of tilting me right now because, I mean, this should be going down here. You should take it. I mean, you have Varus, you have Light of the Rune King. You can easily take down objectives on your own. You need to make sure that you do it. You know, Nasus, he just got it down. Your team is going in. As I already mentioned, you need to make sure that you get enough experience and gold. So grouping up in the middle lane is definitely the wrong thing to do, right? This is not correct. It's a disaster. It's terrible, and your team is doing it. That's unlucky. Ping them back. I don't know if your team does that. It's super weird, but even if you were there, I'm not really sure if it would have made a big difference. It's just useless. What you can do though is, you know, make sure that you push up the side waves, and then when you push up the side waves, here's the trick, right? You can go all mid, but it's important to have pressure on the side waves, because if it's a 5-on-5 in the middle lane and nobody farms up that red farm here, the blue team is gonna lose in the experience game. But if you don't push them up and you just group mid lane, it's gonna be bad. Now, this is pretty tough here. The Nasus is super tanky. He has Frozen Heart already. I would say that you need to have. Okay, you have Mortal Reminder already. Yeah, you need some armor penetration at this game. So yeah, about your items, I think they are suboptimal, especially in this game. Not really sure, but the Rage Blade, I think you could have gone for, you know, I mean, the Rage Blade is fine, but I saw the game already, and you're gonna go for the Dusk Blade and what was the other thing called? Yomu's Ghost Blade. Of course, that's what I wanted to talk about. Ghost Blade is not a really good item on Varus. You don't need it's an assassin build, and especially if you play against Nasus, who's so tanky, you need to melt him down. This means you go for crit, or you know, attack speed, attack damage, and you go for armor penetration. Going for Dust Blade, it's not that good against Nasus, and Yomu's Ghost Blade. You know, the lethality is not that strong against him. A bit of wasted gold there. I mean, what you can go for is definitely, you know, QSS is pretty good in this game. They have Veigar, they have Lulu, they have Ashe, they have Nasus. This QSS would be really good in this game, and well, I think I need to check the match history again. But when I looked at the match history, I saw you going for Dustblade. So that's why I rented a little bit. All right, let's take a look at this play here. We see the Kang clearly here. Let's go for blue red vision. Yeah, can clearly see the Kane. This is really risky, right? Blitzcrank and Varus. Blitzcrank doesn't have the highest peeling. Now, since you got hit by this W, that's the biggest mistake here, because you end up being slowed and you end up losing a lot of HP. Let's do this a bit cleaner. All right. Now, yeah, you try to dodge this next time. I mean, look at your HP. You're slowed as well. Bad situation because Nasus catches up to you, and at this point, I was really, you know, it was really tough. Almost got the Kane here, but make sure try to dodge skill shots. That W from Kane could have been avoided. Would have left you in a bit of a better situation, I think. You know, wouldn't have made the biggest difference because Nasus is so hard to kill. You know, focus-wise, of course, you have to go for the Kane and then Nasus, because Kane is assassin right now in this game, and he's gonna destroy you. Now, when you have Baron, you don't want to get caught like this, because you're gonna waste the whole Baron, and this is the biggest mistake, right? I don't think that microplay was the biggest mistake here. It was just the fact that you were together with Blitzcrank against, you know, two really strong members of the enemy team, and you're not going for objectives. The turrets, you know, if you look at the turrets, the enemy team has more turrets than you, although you were so much ahead in the game. This is terrible. You need to make sure that you go for side lanes. Objectives like Dragon and Herald, I already mentioned this. I think this is the biggest mistake in the game here. Good thing, you know, you killed the Nasus here first. That's okay. I mean, he's the tankiest player, but he has a lot of damage to offer. But after this, you need to make sure that you get priority targets like that Kane here. He's offering it for you. Getting the kill, that's great. Veigar is kind of cleaning up here. Not really sure if it's worth going for this Ashe. I mean, she would have died probably to the Blitzcrank. I mean, going for the Veigar would have been okay too, but it's so fine. It's not a mistake here. It's okay. Now, what do you do next? Don't chase. Don't chase. Go for the mid lane. The chase is terrible. Get down the mid lane. Take the minions. Grab the minions. Take the turret down, or go to the bottom lane. There's a huge wave as well, right? Don't chase. You know, you lost so much time by chasing. You chased the Ashe over there. You chased the Veigar over here. They lost you like, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds. That's the enemy team is already respawned. If you get kills, you need to go for objectives. I say this so often, but you know, in the game, it's just, I understand. You know, you wanna get that kill. I wanna kill the Veigar. It's gonna give me gold. It's gonna give me satisfaction. All right. We gotta go back here and take a look at this play. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, so at this point, Blitzcrank has already died. He overextended. I would definitely go back here at this point. It's a 3 versus 5, if I see this correctly. Yeah, it's a 3 versus 5. Veigar is not directly in the river, but he's gonna join you. So this means you just have to run away as quickly as possible. Use your ultimate as a disengage tool, and then you have to run. But this is not gonna work out for you, even though, you know, you have so much damage, you're so fat, but I mean, you can't just 1v5 them. It's not gonna happen. There's nothing you can. There's literally nothing you can do about it. Even if you have QSS, you can't kill them all. They have too much CC. The Nasus, he has his W is just so impactful. It's just so strong. You can't go for this 1v5 play. You're so strong, but I mean, you don't have QSS. Oh wow, I was wrong. You have other items. No dust plate. Well. Alright, did you just sell your Storm Razor for Guardian Angel? Oh wow, you so much gold. Yeah, I don't think GA is the right choice here. You should go for QSS, definitely. Because, you know, if you die, it's over anyway. You need to go for the QSS. You need to get rid of the, you know, Veigar stun or Nasus W. Maybe even Ashe Arrow or Whimsy from Lulu. Yeah, the biggest mistake here, once again, is just giving them too much time. They have a super good late game team. You give them so much time, so many opportunities to stall out the game. Don't go for turrets. That's the biggest mistake here. No objectives either. You got one Baron, that's good, but you can, as I already mentioned, you could have soloed the dragon here 2 times, the Herald too. So you're so strong. You need to make sure that you do this. 80 carries can solo objectives as well, not just the jungler, especially if you have lifesteal. Right, you have Baron. What do you do is if you have the Baron? I mean, Lee Sin sacrifices himself there. That's unfortunate. Now, what I would do here at this situation is I would defend. They will push this pretty hard. I don't think that you can get the inhibitor without, you know, as a trade-off. You have the Baron. You should try to defend your base. You're 4 people alive. Looking promising here. I mean, the Veigar, yeah, you know, I think the only one who's really going to be dangerous to you is going to be the Veigar, because you have so much damage to deal with the Nasus. You're so fat, and you only need to be careful about the Veigar, because he can burst you down pretty hard. Alright, so I mean, this doesn't look too bad. You are probably gonna get this inhibitor down. Let's pause this right here. Lee Sin is going for the Ashe. Okay, Ashe is pretty out of the game, right? She doesn't have that much of an impact. So you need to be careful with the Veigar, and if you can, try to kill this person first. Even if you have to use your flash. Even if you get him down. If he uses his abilities like his Event Horizon has done, then you can try to go for him. However, this is not gonna work out because your team has died. You can only go for him if you have the opportunity of, for example, Blitzcrank hooks him or Lee Sin goes in. You can flash in to get him down. He has so much damage. He's probably the strongest player in the enemy team. You need to get priority targets down. I mean, it's not the job of the AD carry to go for the backline. But QSS would be so good in that game. Would have gotten rid of the Nasus W, Veigar stun. Now, when you see this, you know, something like this happen, your team is going in. The Veigar already used his abilities. He had them on cooldown. So this means you can definitely try to go in, play a bit more aggressive, attack them. You have so much damage. Look at this, pretty strong, right? Now this might have even, you know, this could be the end of the game. I mean, death time is of 40 seconds. Not really sure if you can end the game. Bah, this chase, chasing again. I would have just gone for the inhibitor here probably, or maybe mid lane and get the mid lane down. You know, everybody's dead from the enemy team. For some reason you went for the jungle. I think this is a mistake as well. Either help your team with the dragon or push the mid wave, because they're supers. Bot lane too. Now this guy gets caught. Not really good. This is terrible. I wouldn't recommend doing this. Don't go. Don't go split pushing as an AD carry if you're alone. Especially not if they go for your base. I'm not really sure. They're probably not gonna get the base down, but there's so many super minions gonna jump in here. Now you know you can't be alone here. You have 30 kills. You're not allowed to walk around like that alone. That's just, you know, you need to be careful. If you have the you know, you had the game in your hand. You were so strong. You were killing everybody in the enemy team. You were super good. Oh yeah, there we go, dust split. Okay, so you bought it pretty late in the game. QSS would have been so good. And yeah, let's take a look at this. How does that play out? Okay, so we see that Ashe and Lulu are here. Let's see what happens. I mean, you should be in out attack range for the Ashe already. I'm not really sure why you walk closer. Yeah, that was pretty badly played. You have so much auto attack damage. You just need to auto attack them. You don't need to use abilities. You lost a lot of time by using your Q and your E. Auto attacks would have done the job, and you know, kill the Ashe. You don't need to, you know, if you play auto attack Varus, you don't need to go for the abilities, especially not if you're playing against an Ashe in a one-on-one and she's in range already. All right. That was it. I think we can say as a summary. Of course, if you get the bot lane turret, you need to make sure that you either get the dragon or the top lane turret. Try to get the heralds. Try to get turrets in general. Don't chase for kills all the time. Make sure that you get objectives like you know, dragon and baron. You completely ignored them. I mean, you're an AD carry, but you could have gotten dragons, like at least 2 of them. All right. So I hope it could help you out here. Thank you very much for giving me the replay, and bye-bye. See you next time.